welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. I hope you like the new logo back there. Do leave me a comment with your thoughts and things on there. It's also rebranded on the website, and we have a .com, thehedgehoghollow.com, if you want to hop on over there and have a look at our new website as well. Today I'm going to be showing you how to use the new Hero Art Skyline dies. Love these dies, and we're going to be creating a sort of sunset or evening background. I use this as a New Year card, but you could use it for birthdays. It's a great masculine card, maybe a moving house, all sorts of fun options in there as well. So to get started, I'm using some distress cardstock, and this blends really nicely with distress inks. This is the Squeezed Lemonade. I have it on a Teflon craft mat just to avoid mess, and it's great for blending off the edges and getting some nice results. So first of all, add that mustard seed in there, and then just add it in sort of blobs in certain areas, and then you can blend them out depending on what you want. So I'm then taking the picked raspberry. You could use your distress oxides. I happen to have these in the original distress inks, which is why I chose these ones. Then I'm going to go in with my purple, and I'm just going to start blending all these colours in. You'll see it's a little bit of a process, and I'm going to speed our way through this as we add those colours in. I'm also going to add some black soot in there so that we add those sort of nighttime hues in there. As I say, it is a process. I went in and added lots of different layers. Some colours I wanted more of, some I wanted less of. It depends what your aim is at the end of it. You could go with more of a galaxy background. You could go into oranges and reds for sunsets. You could even do a daytime background as well with blues and colours like that as well. You might want to mask off a moon. There's lots of options to customise this background. So finally now I'm going in with that black soot. I'm adding it around the edges and firming those up so it sort of looks like the nighttime drawing in on there. You'll see that the colours still, you can see that yellow in there, the purple, the pink. I wanted to be able to see all those colours. I wanted to blend the yellow out a little bit more though. If you find that it's getting a bit tricky to blend, you can see that I added some water droplets using my Distress Refresher. Now you could keep blending. I liked the effect that that gave me. It kind of gave me that starry night sky, and I really in the end came out with a fantastic background. Super pleased with that. So I'm using my Ranger heat tool to dry this off so it doesn't move any of the water around. It's a bit of a lower airflow in there. And then I'm dabbing also with a tissue to create some more lighter areas, so that gives me some variation, and I did want to soften those a little bit so it took some of that yellow out again, but you can just keep working until you're happy with the end result. So whether you want to add lots of layers or just a few layers, I would still recommend you set it with your heat tool. There's a lot of ink on there, and there is a little bit of a glossy surface on that distress paper. You could use your Nina cardstock as well. You're not going to get quite as much of an easy blend as you do with those distress inks. So now we're moving on to adding some white droplets on there, and I'm going to take a old paintbrush, and I tried the flicking method off an acrylic block, but it didn't really work for me with this. I like the P.H. Martin's pen white. I find that gives me a really nice white, and it layers over Copics, paints, distress inks really nicely. And I keep this old paintbrush that I just sort of tap around. I'm using a chopping board. It's a black chopping board that I picked up on Amazon. I've been using it for lots of heat projects, and it's been working really nicely. I'll make sure I link that up for you there. And again, I'm drying off that pen white with my Ranger heat tool. I have a piece of black cardstock cut for my background, and also I've cut out the city skyline with that die on the Lawn Fawn black licorice cardstock as well. And it does take a little bit of time to dry that pen white, but just keep going over it. If you go in one area too long, I have sped this up so it wasn't quite as fast as it looks here, but your ink will bubble, so that's why I keep moving it around till I've got that sorted. So I'm now going to start adhering this on, and it did take me a couple of different goes to work out what was best, but this is the Distress Collage Medium, and I've put it in a fine tip nozzle bottle. And this is one that has a lid on it, so I like this because the nozzle doesn't dry out quite as easily. The first time that I'm doing this, I found that I didn't actually put enough adhesive on. You do want sort of more rather than less, and this does dry clear, so if you have some that comes outside the edges, you're not going to have any issues with that. It's just going to dry clear and you won't see it at the end either. So this die comes in 2 pieces. You can also put sort of orange pieces or yellow pieces behind those windows so they look like they've got lights glowing in them. Lots of different options, really versatile. You could even colour and add some details in there. It reminds me of sort of a Moroccan style sky, or you could do more of like tower blocks, or a lovely sort of German village at Christmas time, make it look gingerbread. I think it's a really versatile die that we'll use lots. So I'm now adding that adhesive onto the second panel, and I'm going to now add that onto the background as well. And as I say, I did have to go back and add the adhesive a second time as well. So once you have added that adhesive on, you're going to want to snip off the edges so that you have a nice straight piece. And then we're going to add it onto our background piece. So to do that, I'm going to be using some double-sided adhesive. I've been going with this Altenew adhesive recently. And then you also want to do a sentiment. So I'm using the Altenew white embossing powder. And I'm also using the new Altenew Embossing Ink. Really pleased with that. It's been working really nicely. It's super sticky and I don't seem to have as many issues with static. I'm trimming the sentiment down using my cutter pad. It's got some great guides in there that help you get a straight sentiment piece no matter where you stamp. The Happy New Year sentiment was from a Mama Elephant set as well, so I'll link that up in the description below and on the blog post for you. My card base is a piece of black lawn fawn cardstock, and my matting layer is some satin silver cardstock from Tonic. That's the Altenew double-sided adhesive that I was talking about as well. And then I'm going to add that sentiment. I wasn't entirely sure where I was going to put it, but I decided to go in that top right-hand corner, and I love how that came out too. And for that, I just used a little thin bit of foam to pop it up to give some extra dimension. So really pleased with how this card came out. I think it's got a lovely end result on there. And of course, all your supplies are linked below. There's a blog post as well. You can see that in the top right-hand corner, and some other videos you might enjoy here at Hedgehog Hollow. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and also give us a thumbs up for that video. You can follow us on Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and here on YouTube. We hope to see you again very soon in a new video. We're also going to be live from Creativation next week, so make sure you hit that subscribe button to keep up with all the news. And I'll see you again very soon. Happy stamping! Bye!